Hello, my name is Alicia Harris and I will be doing a short presentation on the welfare issues related to keeping primates as pets. There are four main sections, the first section being an introduction to the topic, the second being sources and where primates are sourced from, the third are welfare implications of keeping primates as pets. The fourth section is a conclusion of keeping primates as pets. Our fifth section is all of the references cited. So we will now start with an introduction of the topic. Many species that are considered wild are not equipped for close human contact and small confined spaces. The knowledge of species ecology and behaviour can be complicated, and many caregivers lack this understanding. Therefore, the welfare of their animals are generally considered to be poor. Another concern includes these animals that were found in the illegal pet trade are wild caught, which results in threats to wild populations. However, on a positive note, in June of 2021, the Kept Animal Bill was passed that bans the sale and trade of primates to discourage people from keeping them as pets. This was only within England. Veterinarians are generally also opposed to keeping primates as pets due to their complicated husbandry and welfare, as well as the risks they pose to humans. In addition, many species have been released or accidentally escaped into the wild, which causes disruption to the local flora and fauna. This was evident in North America with Burmese pythons, Nile monitors, and Gambian pouched rats. These species are now considered invasive. Due to these concerns, Schupler and Fraser 2000 began to develop a way to analyse the suitability of many different species as companion animals. They based their system on three main criteria. Number 1, the welfare of the animal. Number 2, the welfare of others, with the inclusion of both humans and non-human animals. And number 3, the welfare of the environment, including any threats to wild populations due to trade and species introduced to the wild. We will now look at where pet primates are sourced from. Pet primates are seen all over the world. However, I've mostly focused on the United Kingdom and the USA, as well as a couple of other countries and general local trade. Within the UK, 57% of 24,000 primates were imported for research and testing. However, 8,400 primates were imported into the UK between 2000 and 2004. 99.3% of these were imported for research or breeding facilities. Only one individual out of all of these was imported for personal companionship, therefore suggesting that legal importation is not a significant source of companion primates within the UK. However, this does not equate for illegal importation. Focusing on the USA, 20% of 383,800 primates were imported for research and testing between 1995 and 2001. However, trade of these animals has been illegal since 1975. Although it is illegal, CITES recorded 828 primates that were illegally imported into the country for personal use between 1975 and 2006. 78% of these individuals were macaques. Taking a look at other countries, many countries that have a native primate population generally have a higher amount of pet primates. For example, 82% of all primate companions in Mexico City and Indonesia come from native species. However, in other countries, there has not been much done to reduce the sales of pet primates, as these individuals are continuing to be sold after many bans around the world. Some countries have increased regulatory systems which makes it illegal. However, illegal activity does still occur. We will now look at local trades. Most primates that are traded locally are generally a byproduct of the bushmeat trade. However, if traders do discover a young, rare, or valuable individual, they may take them from the wild to sell them on for a larger profit. 1,175 primates were discovered in sale for the Medan market in Sumatra between 1997 and 2001. Many of these primates were extremely young. Our next source we will look at is private breeders. Private breeders and dealers are the main source of primates in the UK and other countries that do not have a wild population of primates. There are three main species that were found in the UK that were capuchin monkeys, tamarins, and marmosets. Both tamarins and marmosets were sold at various ages. However, capuchins were generally sold as infants that were just past a weaning age. It is thought that thefts of primates from zoos may be the reason that private breeding of primates is common within the UK. We will now look at the welfare implications of keeping primates as pets. We will first start off with diet. An appropriate diet is essential to providing primate welfare. For example, New World monkeys, such as capuchins, require a high vitamin D3 requirement because of their frugivorous diet. This diet includes more phosphorus than calcium. Most pet primates are kept indoors, which prevents them from receiving vitamin D3, as they do not have access to the sun, especially when owners decide to put clothes on their pet, as you could see in the previous photo, thus resulting in the need for supplements. Without such supplements, skeletal diseases are able to occur, such as rickets. A study from 1966 to mid-1971 found that pet primates have a 20.3% chance of developing a bone disease due to this lack of sunlight and poor housing. Hatt and Sainsbury, 1998, Kim et al., 1978, and Resnick, 1971, agree by explaining that bone diseases are recurrent in pet primates. Kim et al., 1978, also explained that diet affects pet primates as much as it does when they have been a victim of chronic drug administration, food restriction, or overfeeding. Chadwick, May, and Lorenz, 1979, explained that although bone diseases are prevalent, 18.8% of all pet primates also suffer from general nutritional disorders. There are many commercial primate foods, however, the nutritional content of these is not species specific. Therefore, providing just this food does not allow the individual to have a good welfare. 119 veterinarians in both England and Wales were surveyed in 2004 and found that within this 1 year, 3.5% of all exotic pets that were treated for illnesses were primates. Due to this being a very small sample size, this suggests that this is a very crucial problem. We will next look at housing. Housing primates can be extremely difficult as they need specific temperatures, humidity, and light levels that are not found in the general population's houses. Some species may tolerate these suboptimal conditions, however, these conditions do affect the health and welfare of the individual primate. Most primates have large home ranges. For example, marmosets have a home range of 0.4 kilometres, to chimpanzees that can have a home range of up to 59.03 kilometres. Therefore, keeping a marmoset in a bird cage, as many owners do, does not provide enough room to prevent disease and illness. Also, some owners allow their pets to free roam or keep them tied up outside. However, this is one of the biggest welfare concerns. These are considered two of the major causes of mortality and injuries in pet primates, as they are prone to burns, falls, and electrocution from chewing on wires. One study found that 39% of pet primates' mortality was due to asphyxiation due to being tied up outside by a rope around the animal's neck. We will now look at the welfare of others. Aggression is a common behaviour towards humans, and it has led to some serious injuries and some deaths. Children are extremely vulnerable as they are more likely to accidentally mishandle the primate. This aggression increases during puberty and is normally directed at older individuals. In pet primates, this is normally towards an adult owner. Primates, especially old world monkeys, have the ability to transmit diseases such as rabies after biting a human. Aggression has significant welfare issues to pet primates, as 11% of pet primate mortality was due to owners killing their pet after an aggressive incident. Disease risks. Primates and humans can transmit diseases easily to one another. This transition is considered a major public health concern because primates harbour many pathogens which can be transmitted to their owner. For example, previously, primates have transmitted drug-resistant Shigella and Salmonella to their owners. There is a risk to the environment with pet primates, as most countries that do not have native primate populations source their captive primates from breeders. However, many of these primates are wild caught, which can result in several adults being killed to take one single individual infant. Transportation of these animals causes a high number of mortalities. Therefore, international trade of these primates contributes to the decline of species. These primates also escape, which causes risks to the environment and native fauna. For example, pet macaques lead to the formation of groups of individual species and invasive species in Mauritius. This also leads to the species transmitting and catching lethal diseases. Public concern is another welfare issue. Between 2000 and 2005, the RSPCA received 191 complaints about the welfare of pet primates in England and Wales. Most of these involved neglect. These complaints involved about 70% of all pet primates in England and Wales, which comes out at approximately 446 individual animals. 64% of all of these complaints were related to the animal's husbandry, including lack of space, shelter, food, and water. 11.5% were complaints about the health of pet primates, and 2% were about the mental health of the animals. This number of complaints about health and husbandry continues to suggest that primate welfare is affected negatively by being a pet. We will now look at a short conclusion about keeping primates as pets. In conclusion, there are three main welfare concerns when keeping primates as pets. The first relates to primate husbandry. Primates require a specialised diet that allows them to stay active and keep them free from illness, disease, and nutritional defects. The first point also relates to their specific housing requirements, as they need the right lighting, temperature, and social conditions. If these are not met, then the welfare of the animal decreases considerably. The second welfare concern is that humans pose a significant risk to their primate, as they are prone to transferring diseases to one another, thus resulting in poor welfare as they are not being protected against pain, injury, and disease, as every pet animal should. The third welfare concern is that pet primates pose significant threats to the local environment and wildlife. For example, if they were to escape, they can cause invasive species, or they can cause the decline of local species. Schupler and Fraser 2000 use a system that has 5 tiers, A to E, to determine if an animal is suitable to be a companion animal. Primates come into category E, meaning they are not suitable as companion animals. A would be include animals such as dogs, cats. Based on the evidence within the UK, keeping primates as pets causes detrimental effect on the primate and their welfare. Thus, primates should not be kept as pets. Thank you very much for listening. I have listed all of my references that I have cited within the PowerPoint.